Bill Swender will describe what it was like to fly the F-102 Delta Dagger. He began flying F-102s out of a base in the Netherlands.
So I flew the 102 for a year. I didn't like the mission, and I really didn't care that much for the airplane, although we used to do a lot of hassling and dogfighting with the Dutch or Germans or Belgiques or anything that was in the air we would dogfight with. The 102, the two-seater, was a side-by-side, and it was a TF-102. And it was just a big piece of crap, I guess you would call it. It was not a very good airplane. It looked terrible to start with. The 102A was pretty good, except you didn't have very good visibility out of it. Right down the middle of the windscreen, there was a piece of metal. And if you looked one side or the other, you couldn't see anything except that piece of metal. The canopy comes back kind of like this. If you looked up, you looked at like a railroad track. It was just a big, wide piece of metal at the top of the canopy, and if you tried to look out either side, you'd bang your helmet against the side of the canopy, because the canopy came down like this. So when we first started flying them up at Schusterberg, we kept hassling and dogfighting with whoever we could find up there, and it was good as far as turning. It turned a lot better than the 100 because of that big delta wing, but the radar couldn't take it. So we'd go up and get into a dogfight or something. We'd come back, the radar would go blank on you, come back and write them up. Maintenance finally called over to ops one day, and they said, "You guys got to stop hassling." He said, "Every time you go up and get into a dogfight or something, it screws up the radar, and we got to fix them. So please stop dogfighting with the 102s. Also, there was a windmill on the main highway. We got a picture of the 102s flying over the windmill. And the weather was really crappy then. I'm leading the flight of two. They had since put in some high tension lines, wires. So you had to figure out where they were and kind of get down between them, come across. And I guess I got a little bit low. Minimum's 500 feet. So I got back in the ops officer called me in, and he said, "Sweet, how low did you get on that pass over the windmill?" I said, 500 feet, sir. And he says, "Oh, really?" And he showed me the picture that he'd taken. He says, "Does that look like 500 feet? And I said, "Well, you got to look at it from an angle, you know. It looks like a little low." It was probably closer to 100 feet.